Hello Medinologist, you're watching Scientific Medinologist YouTube channel. So in this video, we're going to discuss about the 10 MCQ questions on GERD, that is gastrointestinal esophageal reflux disease. So at the end of this video, I'm going to inform you all of the students that who are waiting for important questions on third semester subjects. So I'm going to inform you that. So in this video, we're going to discuss about these 10 MCQs. So without delay, let's get into the video. So our first question is, which of the following is the most common symptom of GERD? That is gastrointestinal esophageal reflux disease. So as you already studied about the GERD, that is also called as GERD. So your options are: first one, abdominal pain, nausea, heartburn, diarrhea. And the right option is heartburn. Heartburn is a burning sensation in the chest, which is the most common symptom of GERD. Heartburn happens when stomach acid flows back to the esophagus and cause the esophagus innermost layer inflamed, and that inflammation of the esophagus is felt by a patient as a burning sensation, which we call heartburn. And that flowback of acid is maybe due to weakening of the lower esophageal sphincters and many other causes. So this is all over this question. So now let's move to the next question, that is, what is the primary cause of GERD? And your options are: first one, excessive stomach acid production, weakened lower esophageal sphincter, hiatal hernia, smoking. And the right option is weakened lower esophageal sphincter. As I already discussed this, the primary cause of GERD and the flowback of acid to the esophagus is due to weakening of the lower esophageal sphincter. The work of the lower esophageal sphincter is that it prevents the flowback of acid from stomach to esophagus. So due to weakening of that wall, which is preventing the flowback of acid, due to that weakening of wall, the acid can easily escape from stomach to esophagus and cause the burning sensation in the patient, and that can lead to GERD. Okay. So now let's move to the next question, that is, which of the following lifestyle changes is recommended for managing GERD symptoms? First one, increasing caffeine intake, eating large meals, losing weight if overweight, don't lying down immediately after eating. And the right option is losing weight if overweight. Among all of this lifestyle, most important that need to be changed during GERD is that losing weight if overweight. Losing weight can help reduce pressure on the abdomen, thereby decreasing the likelihood of acid reflux and improving GERD symptoms. Don't lying down immediately after the eating of meals. As soon as if you go to the sleep, if you go to the bed, due to excessive pressure in the stomach, that can lead to flowback of acid from stomach to esophagus due to maybe weakening of the lower esophageal sphincter, or that increased pressure can overtake the lower esophageal sphincter potential to prevent the flowback of acid, and that can lead to the flowback of acid from stomach to esophagus. Okay. So this is all over this question. So now let's move to the next question, that is, which type of medication is commonly used as a first-line treatment for GERD? And your options are proton pump inhibitors, antibiotics, beta blockers, diuretics. And the answer is proton pump inhibitors. Proton pump inhibitors commonly used to reduce stomach acid production and promote healing of the esophagus in patients with GERD. Okay, so this is all over this question. So now let's move to the next question, that is, what is the role of antacids in the management of GERD? And your options are: first one, neutralize stomach acid, reduce acid production, increase gastric mobility, strengthen the lower esophageal sphincter. And the right answer is neutralize the stomach acid. Antacids work by neutralizing exciting stomach acids, providing quick relief from the heartburn and other symptoms of gastrointestinal reflux disease, GERD. Antacids works by neutralizing exciting stomach acid, providing quick relief from the heartburn and other symptoms of GERD. What is the primary mechanism of action of S2 receptors antagonists in treating GERD? And your options are: first one, neutralize stomach acid, block histamine receptors in the stomach, promote gastric emptying, increase ileus tone. And the right option is blocking histamine receptors in the stomach. Histamine releases can lead to production of HCl. So to neutralize the stomach acid, S2 receptor antagonists act on the S2 receptors, compete with histamine and bind to the S2 receptors and prevent the binding of histamine to the receptors, preventing the production of HCl. S2 receptor antagonists such as ranitidine, famotidine block histamine receptors in the stomach, thereby reducing acid production. So now let's move to the next question, that is, how does elevating the head of the bed help reduce GERD symptom? This is a most important question, and the options are: increasing LAC pressure, reduces acid production, C prevents acid from reaching the esophagus, D NSS gastric emptying, that increases gastric mobility and it provides the gastric emptying. Third option is prevents acid from reaching to the esophagus. So when you elevate the bed as shown in the image, so when you keep the GRD's patients on this position in which elevating the head of the bed helps prevent acid from refluxing into the esophagus by using gravity to keep stomach contents in the stomach. So what happens in this is when the head is elevated and the stomach is in that place only. So due to gravity, the stomach contents will be in the down place only in such a way that the acid can't flow back into the esophagus, preventing GERD symptoms. Okay, so this is all about this question. So now let's move to the next question, that is, what is the function of alginate-based medications in the treatment of GERD? First option is neutralize stomach acid, form a barrier on the top of stomach contents, reduce the acid production, promote gastric mobility. And the right option is form a barrier on the top of the stomach contents. So alginate-based medications form a gel-like barrier on the top of stomach contents, preventing acid from refluxing, improving GERD symptoms. So now let's move to the next question, that is 9th one. Which lifestyle modification can help reduce nighttime GERD symptoms? That is also called as nocturnal GERD symptoms. So first one is eating a large dinner, sleeping on the left side, drinking coffee before bed, wearing tight clothes. Wearing tight clothing. Tight clothing can increase the abdominal pressure, and that increased abdominal pressure can cause the stomach acid to reflux from stomach to esophagus. But especially in night, what we should do to prevent the GERD symptom is that sleeping on the left side. In this question, they asked about nighttime GERD symptoms. Wearing tight clothes can also be increase the risk of GERD in daytime also. So in this question, they are asking about the nighttime GERD symptoms. So the right option will be sleeping on the left side. As you may know this already, because many people says that sleeping on the right side can cause the GERD symptoms. So how this happens is sleeping on the left side by keeping the LS above the level of stomach acid. So the right option is sleeping on the left side. Sleeping on the left side can reduce nighttime GERD symptoms by keeping the lower esophageal sphincter above the level of stomach acid, and thereby reducing reflux of acids, and that can prevent the acid reflux. Okay, so now let's move to the next question, that is 10th one and the last question. Which type of medication is not typically used to treat GERD? And your options are antacids, estroreceptor antagonists, CH1 proton pump inhibitors, and D-thought antibiotics. Antibiotic cannot be considered here. So obviously the right option will be antibiotics, because antibiotics are not used to treat GERD as it not caused by bacterial infection. Antacids, estroreceptors, and proton pump inhibitors are commonly used to treat GERD symptoms. If there is a peptic ulcer case, then we can use antibiotics with antacid drugs so to reduce the GERD symptoms. Peptic ulcers can also cause the GERD symptoms, so to prevent that, we can use antibiotics with antacids. Okay, so this is all about the 10 MCQ questions on GERD, that is gastrointestinal esophageal reflux disease. So now at the end of this video, I am going to inform you all of the students that who are waiting for important questions on third semester subjects. So I am going to inform you that I already created third semester question bank for adult nursing, as you can see in the video, but I am waiting for RGHS to release their blueprints so that I can make the changes in this question bank and make this more suitable and more predictable, more suitable for RGHS, because I made this question bank based on INC syllabus, but I am waiting for RGHS to release their blueprint so that I can modify this question bank, which will be more suitable to the RGHS exams. As soon as they release their blueprints, I will upload this on my YouTube channel. So in this INC syllabus, we need to take long essay question from every unit, because we don't know from which unit long essay will be asked in RGHS examination. So due to that, more questions we need to add in the question bank, as there is no blueprint that only from this unit only long essays will be asked. We cannot delete long essay questions from some of the units if RGHS releases their blueprint. So by using that blueprint, we will get to know that from these many units only long essay questions will be asked. So by knowing that, we can add only long essay questions from those units only which are important to the RGHS examination. We will pick the long essay questions from only those units which RGHS has said in their blueprint, and we will complete the exact predicted questions on long essay part. So we are waiting for that RGHS blueprint. So as soon as they will come, we will create the exact rated important questions on RJS examination. So as soon as they will release, we will upload this question bank. So till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thanks for watching.